Hello, good evening everyone. Today's webinar topic is cybersecurity in today's digital world, safeguarding your investments. So for this, we have with us Dr. Sunil Sharma. He has graduated from BITS Pilani, post-graduated from IIM Bangalore and done his PhD in fintech area from University of Rajasthan and postdoctoral studies in certificate academic practice at Lancaster University, UK. So, Sir brings with him 30 plus years of experience in digital technologies and analytics. He is actively involved in deep tech research in the areas of cognitive automation, research, risk and operation analytics. His consulting businesses and VCs and engaged with over 20 ventures in domains like automation, MarTech, FinTech, MedTech, new media, SaaS, and D2C. In his previous academic role, he was the director of executive programs at SPJ in Mumbai. He has worked and been associated with eminent organizations in India as well as abroad, including advisory roles for governments. Sir has been active in adventurous sports, has a pilot's license, and is professional deep sea diver. Now about a glimpse about NISM. NISM is a public trust established in 2006 by SEBI, the regulator of the securities markets in India. The institute carries out a wide range of capacity building activities at various levels aimed at enhancing the quality standards in securities markets. Before beginning the session, I would like to request all the participants to note some important points. Number 1, questions will be taken at the end during Q&A segment. Number 2, all participants will receive participation certificate within 3 to 4 days. And third, the recording of this session will be available on NISM's YouTube channel. So now I request Sir to begin with the session. Thank you.
Thank you for opening remarks and thank you for a nice introduction. I am Sunil Sharma, and the topic that we are going to cover today is cybersecurity in today's digital world and how you are going to safeguard your investments. So, this is what we are going to cover. Uh, Details about NISM, and this link is there where you can go through details about NISM. Is a public trust established company in 2006 by SEBI, and this has been already covered by my colleague here. So, what we are going to do today is uh, some concepts we are going to include. One, to bring everyone on platform. You might have heard about cyber security, or is it a new topic for you? But what we are going to do is take from very basic about cybersecurity, and from there we'll move on to some advanced topics about the threat landscape, what it is for investors, what is required to be known, and most importantly, how you can protect your digital investment, which is a very important agenda for today's webinar. We are going to discuss about the latest cybersecurity trends going forward, and also some advanced topics like social engineering and remote work. Many of you might be working from work from home kind of scenario, or using websites from your mobile. So, what are the mobile security point which you need to be taking care of? So, this is the agenda for today, and let me quickly. This we have already announced. Q&A will be towards the end, but please feel free to post your Q&A questions in the chat window. So, but we are going to handle this towards the end in the interest of time. We have approximate 40 minutes with us as far as session is concerned. I have a couple of slides, not much, 4 or 5, and going to spend around 10 minutes on each. And all the participants basically are going to receive the participation certificate. This will be sent to you to your registered IDs in 3 and 4 days. The recording of the session is also available, will be available in NISM YouTube channel. The link is also provided on this particular screen. So I hope we are good to go. Let me start with a quick real life case study which happened very recently, and to tell you about what exactly, how deep is the problem of cybersecurity. So a couple of weeks ago, one of my friend, early in the morning, he called me and he told me a very unique kind of problem that he faced. His Demat account was hacked. Previously, I haven't heard about any such thing because it is very tricky to hack somebody's Demat account. So and he called me because I considered as an expert in my network, friends network. So friends and family also approached me in terms of consulting and taking help. So when I asked him about all his details, what exactly happened. So in last night, the day, the Demat account. I hope everyone understands what is a Demat account. A quick introduction about basic background about Demat. We have something called DP, which stands for Depository Participant. Now, there are registered intermediary between a depository like NSDL and the investor. So if you see this particular diagram, there's an investor, and DP can be any broker like HDFC Security, ICICI Security, Zerodha can be a depository participant. And the DMAT is handled by NSDL or CDS. NSDL stands for National Security Depository Limited, and CDSL, I think, is Central Depository Services Limited. So these are two separate bodies. So either if you are handling, having a DMAT account, it is either quoted in NSDL or CDSL. You can check. And the DP participant can be anyone, which is HDFC Security, ICICI Security, or anyone else. Zerodha is also. Sometimes a broker is not a participant as a DP, so they take services of a DP participant. But in most of the cases, your broker, they themselves are the DP. So very rarely you will have a broker. If it is a small broker who have not taken permission, they will take services from a registered DP like HDFC Security, ICICI Security, or Zerodha, etc. Now, this is the for those who are not aware of what DP and DMAT account is. So what happened is that the night when this DMAT account was hacked, my friend received a couple of messages on his mobile phone, and it was late in night. And these messages were that, you are doing a transaction. This is the OTP, and if you want to check your account, you can click on the link, and you can check your DP status. Now, most of our learned people like us, we are aware that we should not be clicking on any such link. And my friend was also a learned person, very much conscious about cyber security. So he didn't click on any of the link, and he assumed that these OTPs are generated by uh, cyber criminal, in which he was absolutely correct, and is true. But by morning, what he saw was, next day he saw was that the shares which he was holding in his DMAT account, he was saving for his daughter's marriage around 30 lakhs rupees of total amount of shares were debited from his DMAT account. So when I started researching about this, then what to do and what to not. So we first of all immediately uh, informed uh, the cyber cell. We also informed the police. We also informed the DP. uh, participant. I'm just not naming any of the banks and DP participant to maintain uh, information security here and not to blame anyone. And we informed the DP from where my friend was holding his demat. He also informed his bank. He also informed NSDL or CDSL about this. We also informed the cyber security. We also informed the police. We also informed the DP in which these stocks were transferred, that hey, this is a uh, hack going on right now at this particular moment. Because normally, if you are aware, earlier it was T plus 2 days it takes a DP. If you are selling a DP stock from a DP, it takes 2 days to transfer into another's DP. And from there, if you are selling it, and then still it will take another 2 days uh, by the time the money will come to the account of the seller. So we had quite enough time, like 4 or 5 days with us, and we tried all the best efforts to stop that particular hacking which was going on at this that point of time. But you will be surprised. One is right now we have very slow processes in terms of, because the banks they requested FIR copy to be available, which took little time. Cybercell also intervened, but also they took little time. And by the time everyone got activated, the stocks which were transferred to another DP were sold out, and the money was taken into another bank account, the hacker's bank account, and from there also it was withdrawn. So, in short, even best of our efforts, we couldn't save uh, this particular transaction. Even taking a proactive approach, we couldn't do this particular. We couldn't save it. Now, in terms of losses and recovery, I have already told you it was around 30 lakhs of one somebody's entire, saving into that particular demat account. Because nowadays you have your mutual funds, you also have your stocks, everything can be put into your demat account. Even bonds can be put into demat account. Now, the process is still going on about the losses and recoveries. Still, the cases are being filed of to an unknown person. We are not able to identify the hacker's identity so far. Uh, Cybercell has been very proactive. They have identified the hacker, but they don't have enough evidences, so they are still taking a lot of time in order to recover. Still, the amount has not been recovered yet. Now, with this particular case study, what I want to point out is that even if we have best of the cyber cell and procedures, and towards the end, I am going to share you what is the fastest way you can try to stop a hacker. We are going to share those details towards the end of the seminar. But what the only mistake my friend did as a user of digital transaction methods, and keeping demat is like a very common thing, nothing extraordinary, that he ignored those messages which happened during that point of time. So in night, when these messages were coming up, um, he could have immediately blocked his DP that point of time, um, by immediately going into the portal, um, which is slightly tricky. If the DP participant is not having that kind of facility on their portal, then it is uh, you have to call their customer service and so on, which they might not be available during night. So this is slightly tricky here. So he ignored those messages, and probably those 12 hours of that gap was good enough for the hacker to completely get transaction done in that particular demat account. So this particular case study is, just to sensitize you that even conscious user can also make mistakes. And this particular discussion is basically to sensitize you so that you don't do those mistakes, and you can lead your digital transactions in a much informed manner. So coming to the basic terms about what is cyber security. Cybersecurity is basically, since a lot of our life data and transactions, banking transactions, our assets, they are in the digital format. DMAT, we have already discussed one particular example. Um, to protect these particular assets, not only your assets, but also your information, which is again like an asset. What kind of features you need to do, apply hardware, software, what we can do. So all the procedures involved comes under cybersecurity. The importance to investors and financial market. If we don't have a very good cybersecurity framework, let's say in India, India is highly developed country in terms of fintech. We have developed UPI in a wonderful way. We are developing a lot of rules, regulation, regulatory bodies. We lot of bodies like NSC, BSC, and RBI, SEBI, IDA, we are there very good in technology point of view. And but still, the hackers will be one step ahead if they want to hack. And continuous development, learning efforts from user side, and development efforts from regulator point of view is required. So that's the importance of security. If there is no security, the financial market will not be able to operate. Investors will not have enough trust into the system. They will be very fearful to put money. You might be aware of, some of your relatives or friends who are really afraid to put money even in the bank. They're happy with having handling cash, which they store under their mattress or almirah. They are happy with that, but they are afraid to put money in bank. And the reason is obviously that they are afraid of hackers, cyber hackers. Now, should be keeping money under mattress? The answer is no, because most of these um, facilities that we use are through digital, and the only thing what we have to do is learn about cyber security and be very efficient, proactive in doing this, and then you are quite safe as far as transactions are concerned. The key principles around cybersecurity, we call it CIA, is called Information Security Triad. So it stands for confidentiality, integrity, availability. Confidentiality is your private information should be protected. Nobody should know what is the money in your account, what kind of transaction you are doing, or even your personal data should be confidential in nature. Integrity means whatever transactions you are doing, those transactions should be accurate, and the integrity of that transaction should not be impacted by anybody. Availability means those services which are there digital in form, you should have access to those services. Sometimes we find that hacker can stop your services at some point of time. So they might stop your OTPs or warning messages which are coming to your mobile phone or email. The hacker can stop that. So that comes under the availability of services. Okay, so here the common threats that we have is phishing attacks, and let me just put and see what kind of questions are coming. Okay, so Roshan has mentioned sound is not proper. I hope everyone is able to hear me nicely. Okay, wonderful. So understanding the threat landscape, the common threats are phishing, malware, ransomware, social engineering. There are a lot of different types of attacks are possible. If I start listing those, it will be in thousands. So I'm not taking, but I'm just taking a broad categories. Phishing is just like phishing. Someone is trying to capture uh, your password and so on. Malware is when somebody is putting up a software either in your mobile phone or your laptop or in your server if you are an enterprise. Ransomware is where they are putting up, holding your data, putting up you on hold. You are not able to utilize anything, and then the hacker demand a ransom. So that's something like kidnapping your data and holding everything, all your processes. So this is what social engineering is, a new types of attack, which is again uh, that hackers here try to understand, know the profile, sentimental profile of a user, and will try to take advantage of this. I'll give you a few examples later on in one of my slides. The hackers can be, if you are an organization, it can be an insider threat. Your employee can be somebody who is leaking out the information, password, users. We hear a lot of news, unfortunately, that employee of a bank or insurance company, they were able to steal the data and they shared this data outside, and the hackers were later on do the kind of transactions which are which are not which were not able to handle those kind of scenarios. The external attacks are there where the hacker uh, is an outside person, and they are able to steal the data from outside. So these are the two categories of hackers normally. What we need to do is, in order to understand the latest threat landscape, we need to keep on reading about the recent real world instances which are happening in the financial cyber fraud. Because hackers, they basically keep on evolving themselves. They will come up with new types of hacking attempts, and we should, as a user, obviously as a regulator and experts, we need to keep on learning. But as a user also, you have to keep on knowing about more and more real world instances, just to keep you updated about the types of financial frauds which are possible. Because the hackers, they will keep on updating, and if you are not aware of, so technically I'm going to sort of discuss and give you some ideas about how, as an investor, there are a couple of 3 4 areas where you can immediately protect yourself. So let's start talking about, we know the problem now, and we are now moving on to the solution zone, that what kind of solutions we should be uh, targeting here. Okay, Siri didn't do anything in that Demat account is of your friend. Uh, so everyone responded. There was a question here in my chat that SEBI didn't do anything in that account case. So everyone responded, but those responses were pretty late, more than 48 hours. So I will discuss with this that how regulators are also, trying out uh, best response rate. We are going to discuss it in towards the end of the class. Everyone responded positively, including banks and DPs, but unfortunately, the systems are not. With as a personal, this is my personal opinion. The system were not fast enough to stop the hackers' attempt, which was ongoing. So let us see from our side what we can do, what kind of efforts we can do. First of all, always go for very strong passwords. Okay, never use your birth year as your password, like, right? Don't make it very easy for a hacker to crack it. So nowadays you have password managers. I've been using Google's password manager, which provides a very strong password, which even I can't remember. I have to save the password. And secondly, then multi-factor authentication. This is again a very, very powerful step. So in the first layer, you have your website password. Uh, in the second step, this is basically a three-factor authentication. This is asking for a PIN into my mobile phone. So as soon as somebody log in into my website, I receive a message onto my mobile phone, and I receive a code, a PIN, which is automatically generated. It is a dynamic PIN. It is not a static PIN. Um, the difference between static pin and dynamic pin is static pin is constant for you always, but dynamic pin is keeps on changing, and the time limit for change of this particular dynamic pin is as low as 15 second, 20 second. You can set it that way, and it becomes very challenging for a hacker to crack that kind of time bound dynamic setup of pins. So in the second step, I receive a pin, and maybe in the third step, I also have to authenticate that all these transactions have been done by me. So I can use my eye scan, I can use my face recognition, or I can use my biometric in order to further authenticate this particular transaction. So obviously, smaller transactions, you should not be having these three or four level of multi-factor authentication. But what you can do is, if you are doing bigger transactions, you should definitely look for make life of a hacker very tough, that they won't be able to crack this particular system. So MFA is multi-factor authentication is a very powerful way of stopping hacker on their tracks. Now, so my friend case, where the case study that we discussed, it was a single factor authentication. Um, from the DMAT account, the OTP was generated, and eventually the hacker had hacked the email of inbox of my friend here, and was able to see those OTPs as it is. Now, if this would have been a two-way or three-way authenticated system, where the OTPs which are coming to your email inbox, um, a hacker will not be able to enter into without two-way or three-way protocols. This would have been safe. So he only had a single level of uh, protection, which is a single password into the website, which anybody can crack nowadays. It's easier to crack. Now, beyond this, we should also have a secure browsing habits. So, going to unnecessary websites, um, which are gaming, looks like gaming website and other kind of websites. Obviously, these kind of websites, sometimes they are for trap, and while you are visiting those particular website, anybody can install a malware in either into your mobile phone or your laptop, and then it becomes very easy for hacker to see all the information into your mobile phone or laptop. Secondly, you should be clever enough, you should be vigilant enough to recognize suspicious emails and websites. Now, I hear from a lot of people that they received a message that they have received a lottery, or somebody from UK, somebody has sent a message that I am a widow and I want to transfer my husband's amount in your account, and in that process I will give you 10% of the entire money. The money is in millions and billions. Now, yeah, we have to be sort of put our logic here, that we are not that lucky, right? Somebody is trying to find out from across countries and trying to put money into my account. I mean, I don't think I'm that lucky, right? So we should be careful about this. We should not entertain those emails immediately. We should be blocking those emails. Even don't try to go and explore more. Let's see what happens next. Please don't go into that next step. Don't click on any such email or any link which has been provided in those particular scenarios. So these are social engineering attempts. The hacker understand your profile. Sometimes they understand that you are in a requirement of money, and then they want to lure you into different types of schemes. So a personal recognition method is the best method which you are able to identify suspicious emails and website and SMS messages or maybe WhatsApp messages. So protecting your digital investment, one is you should always have these MFAs, multi-factor authentication system, in your bank account, in your DMAT account, whatever account where you have your information stored. You should secure those devices. You should secure those apps, websites, and also your devices, and keep it up to date. Don't use a very old mobile phone and laptops. You should see that when the security patches are getting obsolete or they have expired, please try to move on to a better website. So, for example, you are not able to buy, let's say, a new laptop. Okay. So, and your laptop is very old, and you don't intend to purchase a new laptop after even next 1 or 2, 3 years, then at least you can move your financial transaction to your mobile handset. If it is a newer one, obviously nowadays we are having mobile phone which are not very old. So 1 year, 2, 3 years of what we are looking for. So if your mobile phone is in that particular range, I think you are pretty much secure. The only thing is what you have to take care is keep it secure, and so you should have at least one device which is slightly new. I'm not saying that it should be new brand and every month or every quarter you should be purchasing a new mobile phone. But at the same time, you are not doing general activities on that particular device, and keep it away from rest of your work, and make a device which is very much secure just for your transactions. So this is again a very good strategy. Keep your data backup strategies intact. Don't save your mobile phone passwords, etc., onto email and messages. Don't share it with anybody. The best is that important passwords, if you can have a physical diary, you can keep it. But then again, you have to keep it away from other people. If you are keeping a diary in your office, it won't be very safe. So you have to keep that diary also under a logged situation. So these basic elements will go a long way in order to protect your investments. Now, let me quickly tell you about what are the latest cybersecurity trends which are happening. The level of attacks has become very sophisticated. Two, three examples I will give you. One is fileless malware has come. That means nowadays hacker don't have to install a file into your mobile phone or laptop. So that's called fileless malware. The malware activates directly from cloud, and this is a very risky thing. Uh, so here, be protected from those websites from where you are going, and checking the websites. You should be aware of the authenticity of those particular websites and apps, and please don't go into any of such websites, because nowadays they don't require even to install a file on your mobile phone. Secondly, since this chat GPT AI driven processes have come, hackers have started using AI driven attacks as well, which are massive in number and large in number. And the AI can help a hacker in order to hack your account very easily. They can develop codes around it. They don't require sophisticated coding. AI can help a hacker to code. AI can help generate content, even your voice modulation, etc., which is very risky. So now the risk has become cloud based. If you see this particular point, the risk has become cloud based, and most of the investment platforms are also cloud based, and that is why this has become absolutely critical that we have to be little extraordinary careful about it. There is something called zero trust security. You cannot trust anybody. So I have trained my family members. Suppose my son receives a call from me and he's having a credit card. If I ask, so the call he can see is generated from my mobile phone. My name is coming in his mobile, and then it is my voice. Can you tell me the credit card number or the CVV only? I forgot the CVV. And immediately my son will, since he recognized my voice and nothing fishy about it, and this can happen where I'm asking about CVV. This normally happens, or have you received an OTP? Can you tell me the OTP? Within family members, we definitely do this. This should be immediately stopped because through AI, you can modulate, you can create voice which looks very similar to your voice. So you train the AI with your voice modulation, and then immediately the next voice can come from AI. So what I have done, what is the solution which I have done? I have given you the problem. Now I should also give you the solution. Whenever you receive such a call, uh, within family members, if you need to share OTPs, if you need to share credit card information, etc., over phone, many times we need to share. Uh, you should also ask a secret phrase which should be known to only both of you. So between me and my wife, there might be a secret word which we only share with each other, right? So you can ask a question, or you can ask the secret phrase, and once you get a proper response, then only you should be giving this information on the verbal side. This can be easily done between two people where these OTPs and credit card information is shared. Please do it immediately because right now AI is being continuously used. I am hearing these cases where they received a call from their dad or mom and they shared the credit card information and OTPs, and then things went a different way. The hackers were able to hack. Regulatory point of view, our regulators, they are doing really good job in terms of developing mechanism to protect our investment, uh, assessing the cyber risk involved in the investment portfolio. They are doing their level best. Banks, regulators, everyone is doing. But what I'm saying is, as user also, we need to sort of help and be little extra conscious about it, which we should be doing. We have newer regulatory requirements, international, in national level. We have GDPR, we have this newer regulatory requirement coming from DPDPA. DPDPA stands for Digital Personal Data Protection Act, which is a recent one. So everyone is doing their best effort, and companies also, they have their security audits and incident response planning. uh, but having said this, uh, at the user level, it is very important that a lot of things can be stopped, and that's why we are sensitizing you at a user level. So, just two types of this is my, I think, last or second last slide. I'll be winding up in another 5 minutes. Uh, the social engineering frauds are basically those frauds where the attackers exploit the human psychology. So they try to create a scenario for you and try to give you a threat. You might have heard about hackers calling you and said they received a parcel, and the parcel has got your address, and we also have your Aadhaar card number, etc., and so on. We have researched about it. The parcel contains drugs, and you are under digital arrest, right? So here, human psychology is being involved, and suddenly a person feels threatened, and they also call you through a video. The video has got scene from looks like a police station where uh, two people are sitting in the uniform and they can see rest of the background. as a police station. Now, immediately, I will never imagine that they will do such a elaborate stage decoration and will try to attack. So I have heard about so many literate people also thinking that digital arrest is something which is new, and government might be doing something digital. We all are doing digital India and so on. So this might be a new thing, and people get exploited because of this. And they said, okay, now transfer this amount. Otherwise, we'll put a case on you, or you can shift your money to this particular account so that we don't block your entire money and so on. So this can be anything. So they are basically exploiting human psychology, and we should be very aware of. So first of all, if anything like this comes to your uh, notice, somebody is trying to hack you, please be calm, comfortably. Take advice from your near dears and cyber security experts. Approach cyber. I'll give you some steps if there is somebody trying to attack or hack. What steps you should be doing? I think is coming into the next. Then financial frauds. You have to keep your mobile phone, all the devices very safe. If you don't use unnecessary free networks, sometimes the free networks they come with, they connect with your devices and install a lot of malware. So to most extent, please only join authenticated networks, Wi-Fi networks. Don't be greedy joining free networks. You should have your own services. Only in very rare case, emergency case, or suppose you are at a airport, those networks are definitely pretty safe, and it is coming from the government, so it is safer to connect there. Use VPN, which is a virtual private networks, and also don't download unnecessary apps which you are not aware of coming from a good source. What steps you should be doing when there is a cyber fraud happening with you? First of all, contact National Cyber Crime Helpline, which is 1930. You can take a snapshot of this particular screen. You can also go to their reporting portal. You can launch a complaint directly on their portal and immediately inform what is going on with you. Don't be afraid of, if someone tells you that you are in a digital arrest, etc., and you should not be contacting anyone. Please don't be afraid of those particular scenario. And these are helpline which are 24 by 7 available. If there is money being lost from your uh, bank account or your credit card, or it can be a digital wallet provider, uh, you can directly report. Will definitely help you, because if some fraud is going on in your credit card account, you can immediately stop it and so on. So that you can do. Secondly, in the third step, you have to file a first FIR, which is first information report, nearest police station you have to do. If you have a cyber security cell, physical cell available, you can do that. But otherwise, cybercrime.gov.in is good enough. For bank related frauds, there is a bank ombudsman is also there. You can, there's a specialized cyber security professional sitting in the bank. They are going to help you through this. Always keep a list of important phone numbers and websites where you can give complaints. So if you are using a HDFC credit card, you can always keep those numbers ready, because here time is like critical. If you will waste more time in order to stop the hacking attempt, then hacker has got a time advantage, and they will be able to wipe out your account based on the time availability. Secondly, most of the apps that we have, for example, at least bank account apps, the credit card apps, they have a facility to block your cards. You can anytime block your card if you suspect anything is going on. So don't worry at all. You will get a new card if you have blocked, or you can unblock it later on. But you will be able to save those particular transactions. One smart thing that you can do is you can limit the transaction value per transaction value. So, for example, I keep two cards. One is for my international usage, where foreign currency usage is done, normally, which is done at a higher amount. So, there my limit of transaction is higher amount. But I keep that card blocked for international usage. Whenever I am going abroad, etc., then only I open that particular uh, card using my app. The second card, which normally most of my transaction happens below 3,000, right? So although the limit might be more, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, or 5 lakh, or 10 lakh, but since the most of the transactions are below 3,000 level, what we can do is reduce the transaction value per transaction value of those particular cards. So what will happen is if you are frequently using any of the card, so what happens is if some hacker is even trying to hack, they will be able to do one or two transactions, maximum of 3,000 or something like this, and immediately will be activated, and you will see that those transactions you have not done, immediately you will be able to block those cards immediately. Instead of having a larger limit, open limit, which can be go into multiple lakhs, you are reducing the exposure of that particular card for the transaction. So these are small steps you can do from user side, and those things are going to be very helpful. As I mentioned, that there are a lot of new initiatives being done by Government of India. So, for example, the Ministry of Home Affairs recently have come up with the E0 FIR initiative, and this they are doing through this Indian Crime Coordination Center, I4C as they call it, Indian Crime Coordination Center. Now, so what it is a faster track. As I told you, right now the systems are very slow, but government and other departments, they are definitely trying their level best. So complaints at NCRP and 1930, they will be fast tracked and they automatically be converted to FIR. It takes little time right now in this physical form right now as it is. So this is going to be very fast, hopefully, in coming times. So the present pilot is happening limited to Delhi, and the limit also is there that any fraud more than 10 lakh is being handled through this E0 FIR initiative. But very soon across country, this will be implemented, and I hope that this will also lead to smaller transactions also as well, as this will become successful. So even fraud transactions, 1,000, 3,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees, they will be also done through these particular fast track systems. So you can note down these steps. I think it will save. Now, this ends my topic here. Organizer have they announced, just to inform you about a certified good program that they are running. This is a NISM CRISIL certified ESG risk analyst program, and ESG, as you know, is environmental, social, and governance is coming up in a big way. A lot of companies, they have to go through ESG guidelines. There are positions like ESG risk analyst and so on. So it's a wonderful program where they NISM and CRISIL jointly, they cover wonderful topics like ESG concepts, applications, framework, reporting standards, regulatory compliances in ESG, and the assessment involved is a MCQ with 60% passing requirement, and you get certified into ESG. With this small announcement, I end my discussion here, and we'll quickly see if we have certain queries coming up. Let me moderate my queries myself. So we have queries coming up. Demat account. Someone, Prajwal has mentioned what Demat account is. Very nice, Prajwal. Your information is correct. One or two questions I have already answered. Participation for progress. Amazing presentation made in the. Thank you so much for good words. So there is nothing here which I have to address. I have one of my Demat account with regular broker. Recently, I got to know that we shouldn't give our Demat to our broker. So when I asked them to either revoke or modify, they straight away denied. Your broker should be a trusted member. Mm, and normally, most of the brokers they have your information about your Demat account. Uh, so either move to a trusted broker, right? You don't should be you feeling threatened by sharing your information, or you can close the account from the broker. Uh, and obviously, this POA, which is your complete data around Demat account, this should not be shared publicly. But your broker DP, if you are sharing it with your DP broker or any other depository, for example, I deal with unlisted stocks. So if I put buy a share of one of my relatives' company, and so these stocks are unlisted, but so my relatives transfer the shares to my Demat account. So I have to provide all the details to my relative from where I'm purchasing his company's share, or my friend's company, or it can be any other company where I'm investing as a unlisted share or private equity. So there, this information will be required. You cannot keep it hiding. So you have to share this particular information. Don't share it in a public platform, and keep trusted people around. So your broker should be trusted. Your DP should be a trusted. Adhering to the fundamentals as highlighted in your presentation, awareness, extremely environment, modules of friendly. Yeah, they keep on updating. So they will come up with the hackers, they come up with newer and newer technology. And that's why it becomes challenging. You're absolutely right on this. There are instances that money lost through cyber fraud in DMAT. Uh, so Venkat, there are instances where DMAT was insured, and up to the amount of insurance it was recovered. In some cases, they were able to activate or deactivate the DP where the transaction was happening. So some amount was lost, but rest of the things was saved. In some cases, the share got transferred to another DP, and the person sold those shares, but the amount after selling it was stopped by the bank. So they actively responded and they stopped that particular amount. And after a due course, due diligence, etc., and so on, that amount was recovered after FIR. So multiple ways this has been recovered, but there is no one particular method through which this is recovered. It depends upon at what stage the hack is happening. In some cases, people buy shares and they don't look at their DP regularly. They just check their DP after a year or so. In those cases, it becomes very risky. They won't be able to recover anything. So if you are holding something in your Demat accounts, at least fortnightly, and if you are not a very regular trader, at least fortnightly, within 1 week or 2 week, you should be aware of that your amount, the stocks is intact. So find a method for which you can regularly check. So what I do is normally I have a rough idea about my holding amount, and fortnightly or weekly, I just check that that particular amount in holding is equivalent to what I am expecting, right? So if it is something near, because daily the rates change, you won't be able to guess the exact amount. if you are not a very regular trader. So a rough amount, if you are seeing into the DP, that it is fair enough to consider that nothing much has debited from your particular DP. This you can do. Everyone can have different. Sir, do we get any kind of certification of this webinar? Yeah, there is a certificate of participation which we will get in 3 4 days. Uh, I've been told by the organizer about it. Uh, in case study which you mentioned, whose fault was it? Was there any loophole from the broker? The fault basically, unfortunately, was my friend's fault. He didn't have a two-factor authentication into his mobile phone and email. Uh, but having said this, it was also the fault of rest of the stakeholders. They didn't respond in a faster way. They took around 48 hours, which was a critical time to respond. So, at various forums, I've been sort of advising many institutions that they should have robust processes, maybe automated process. They have their own challenges. If they have large number of users, it's not easy to handle large number of users. There has to be automated processes through which this can be handled. So a lot of development is going on. But if the user is very careful, I think 80 90%, if we are careful, I think we'll be able to stop a hacker in their track at our end only. Why to sort of depend upon other people. And regulators and DP, they are putting the best of their technologies uh, to protect you. That thing is very much there, but this is a dynamic world, and hackers will become more and more smart, and we have to also become more and more smart. And you attending this particular webinar is an indication that you are an active listener, and active listeners, careful listeners will basically will make lesser mistakes in their life. So this is what it is. So with this, I think we have covered most of the questions.
I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks for taking the time to speak at our webinar. Your insight, expertise, and engaging presentation made a lasting impact on our audience. Thank you once again for sharing your time and knowledge with us. Wishing you a wonderful day ahead. Thank you, sir.